Because we told them, we don't know.
Exactly.
This here, so I'm compressing the video. Do you want me to, with the CCs, video one? Video one, CC.
Live to regret that, let me tell you.
Do you have it? Can you mail it though?
No, I can't. No, it's not. Okay, thanks. Bye. Can I ask a favor? Yes. Oh, yeah. Sure. Ken, K-E-N-N, Nelson, N-E-L-S-O-N.
I got it. And then your title.
Lieutenant, San Diego County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff's Homicide Detail.
So there was a welfare check this morning. Can you start just from the beginning, please?
Sure. Right around noontime, deputies from the North Coastal Sheriff's Station received a 911 call of a possible child abuse incident happening at 17108 Villa De La Valle here in Rancho Santa Fe. Deputies responded, knocked on the front door, did not receive a response. So they began to do a security check of the house and the perimeter. As they were walking around the house, they happened to look in a kitchen window and they noticed an adult female lying on the ground unresponsive inside the house. Fearing that she may need some type of medical aid, they forced entry into the house. When they did, they noticed that there were two additional females inside the house. All three were deceased and all three displayed signs of obvious trauma. The females are two adults and one teenager. The deputies then backed out and called for homicide to respond. So we're just now beginning our investigation. We're still trying to determine a motive. We're still trying to determine the relationship. The medical examiner's office will have to obviously conduct an autopsy in order to determine the cause and manner of death. But one thing that we can say is we do not believe there are any suspects outstanding in this case.
Okay. So you can't talk about ages, or do you have their ages at all?
The two adults we believe to be in their 40s, and the third one is a teenager.
Okay. So you say no additional suspects. You don't think there are any other suspects. So no other cars parked. You guys aren't even that far into the investigation, are you?
We're fairly confident there are no other suspects outstanding in this case.
Is it a murder-suicide?
We don't believe there are any other suspects outstanding in this case, and it comes down to that the medical examiner's office has to determine the cause and manner of death.
Okay, when you say obvious signs of trauma, can you talk about where? Is it upper body, lower body? I mean...
right now it's way too early, and that's really all we're releasing on that end of it. And again, the medical examiner's office will be able to determine exactly what the cause of death is, and then we'll be able to release that information.
So deputies were the first to respond. You see 3 people dead in a home. That's got to feel like something. I mean, how are they doing, if that's a fair question to ask?
The deputies are handling themselves in a very professional manner. Obviously, whenever you respond to something of this nature, it's traumatic and tragic. And then you compound that with the fact that there is a teenager involved, someone young of age. It kind of raises the level of the tragedy in this and the trauma that's going to be experienced by the first responders. So we're always very careful as an organization to ensure that their well-being is taken care of, because they're having to witness and deal with these types of incidents.
Do you know the person who called 911? Do you have that relationship with people who are in the home?
We're still trying to confirm what that relationship is.
When did that initial call came in?
The initial call came in, I believe, just before noon today.
Okay. And when your deputies arrived on the scene and they found the people in the house, were they all in one central area, or were they throughout the house? I know I caught the tail end of the other interview.
Right, they were kind of spread out throughout the house, but the deputies, once they were inside there, they had the paramedics come in just to confirm whether there was any signs of life, and there were not.
They were the deputies were well in the house by the time they discovered what they found, right?
Yes, as soon as they saw that there was a female on the floor who looked like she needed some type of medical aid when they were looking from the outside, they went inside the house to ensure that if they could save her, or if there were any other folks in there who were victims. And unfortunately, they did find 2 additional victims.
Any weapons?
We're still trying to determine the cause and manner of death, and we're still trying to get a search warrant. It'll take a couple of hours to do that before we can go back into the house and start that long process, detailed process of collecting evidence.
Okay. And then I heard you say that this road was going to be blocked off for several hours.
Yeah, that'd be my best guess. Is it's going to be several hours while we process the entire scene.
Okay. I'm good.
I'm good, thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Lieutenant.
much.
Thank
Not
you
a problem.
so much. Okay.